Welcome to our online classroom tonight. I'm Mrs. Seja, and we are going to be looking at how do we spend money. We're going to look at this previous lesson of Randy and how we looked at his paycheck and how much money that he spent. And then we're also going to begin to count out money. I want you to kind of hang with me. We're going to start off, fairly simple, but by the end of the week, we're going to be counting out dollars. So I know today's lesson may be a refresher on how do we count out money. And I want you to practice from today to the next time we come together of how to count money out because we're going to get larger amounts as we go. It's a super important skill for when you graduated from high school and you're living on your own. Like Keisha, when she's gotten her apartment, or Jordan, he's paying for gas and insurance. Our two stories that we've read, you'll be doing the same. All right, so let's take a quick look at Jordan or Randy and Randy's paycheck. Do you remember looking at this graph? You remember the name? Remember this week we had talked about a double bar graph. We had looked at a horizontal bar graph, but this one had a special name. What was the name of this one? Kind of looks like its name. You can ask a family member if you're not sure. Yes, it's a pie graph. Very good. So in this pie graph, we looked for our key right here that tells us how much each of these colors are worth and what they represent. And then here we have text boxes that help us remember that or know how much money is for each section. So in this very large red piece, who remembers what he was spending this a lot amount of money on? It's in two places. You can find it here, and you can find it here. Video game system, right? Remember, he was putting money aside for his video game. How much? $75, right? Now, the yellow section, what was that for? What did that represent of his paycheck? So we have to go down. We have to find the yellow. Fun with friends. So let's go over to our text box and see how much money he was spending having fun with friends. $50. So that could be anything from going to Sonic's to grab something to eat, or maybe the movies, or to go play laser tag. But he was putting away money to go have fun with friends, $50. So now we have $75 and $50. Now we're at the blue section, which if we look at this blue section, remember, it's a bit smaller than the others. But let's look down and see what the blue is for. Blue is to buy food. So blue is how much? $20 to buy the food. Very good. Then we have the orange section. He's doing what? That orange section, how does it represent? Paying for his cell phone bill. Very good. So right here, he's paying for his cell phone bill, and how much money? $25, right. And that leaves us with one section, green section. So let's look for the green, and it's to buy clothes, right. How much money is he going to spend on clothes? $30. Now, do you remember when we added all of this together that it came to $200? And we couldn't really remember, is that one paycheck or is that two, 1 week of work or for that paycheck or 2 weeks of work. But all we know is that he had $200 that he had to separate out. Now, before Randy could really make these decisions, he had to understand how to count out money. And he had to understand how much does an item cost and how much does he have to put away for it. So that's what we're going to start doing today. We're going to start off, like I said, very, very simple. We're just going to count out simple amounts of money. But by the end of the week, we're going to be counting out dollars. And in between our lessons, it's going to be your job to practice counting out that money with a family member when you go to the store to buy groceries, or when you're ordering something online. It's important to know that's real money that you're spending. Okay, here we go. So here, Danielle is spending the money from her paycheck. How much money will it cost? Count out the coins. Well, first we have to know, what are we buying, right? So she is buying gum. She's buying gum. And her gum is going to cost how much money? 6 cents. Her gum is going to cost 6 cents. Now, if you're working on the line with this along with me, you know that you just click the inside box, the coin pops up, but you have to count out to the correct amount. So 6 pennies. So before we count out our 6 pennies, let's try something. Let's look and let's make 6 dots, okay? So today let's choose green. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dots. Each of those represent 1 penny. So how many pennies are we going to need to put up to create it? Yes, we are going to have to put up 6 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pennies. Now, if we were going to trade some of these pennies in for a larger coin, would that be for a nickel, which is worth 5 cents, or a dime, which is worth 10 cents? So we have to think, do we have 10 cents right now? So do we have 10 cents, or do we have at least 5 cents? 5 cents is less than 10 cents, right? So if we were to count out 5, we know that we don't have 10. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and we would create enough for a nickel. And we could trade that in, right? Oh, my pen's going a little crazy. All right. So that would be one way that we would have fewer coins in our pocket, because we would trade it in for a nickel. All right, let's see what is next. Let's see, Danielle is going to be spending money from her paycheck for the 6 cents. And here, this is for our friends that are working on identifying the coin. So we counted out our 6 cents. Now what we're going to do is we're going to match them. Now remember that that penny is that copper-colored, orange-colored coin, right? We usually find pennies everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pennies. So we can find pennies most anywhere. If you come across a penny, pick it up and stick it in your pocket. They add up real quick. Here's a quick question. How many pennies do we need to make $1? Think about that. You can ask a family member. How many pennies does it take to create $1? Ah, that's your question for today. All right, let's move on and let's see what we're doing next. So we have Danielle again, and she is still spending money, but today she's going to buy a hairband. And it cost how much money? 35 cents. Now remember that when we're talking about money, we have different symbols, right? We have the cent sign and we have the dollar sign, right? But we also have the dot, which is the decimal. So we want to remember that this is our cent sign. Now, let's click and begin to count out our coins. And I want you to tell me the name and the value of the coin that comes up. Are you ready? So what is the name of this? You can ask a family member. Yes, the name is a nickel. And how much is that nickel worth? How much is it worth? It's worth 5 cents. Now we've got to get all the way up to 35 cents, right? So 5 cents, there's my crazy marker going crazy. Now a 5 cents is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would be the same as our 5 pennies, right? But we need to get to 35. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Excellent. How many nickels do we have all together? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, do you remember the other day we talked about how addition is a long way to do multiplication, and so a multiplication is a short way to do addition. So we could count these by 5, right? We could make our number line. We could put 7 hash marks, right? And we could count them by 5s, and we could come with 35. Or we could take 5 times what? 7 equals 35. So a very quick way to do that counting money. Remember, we started with multiplication last week. All right. Now, our next step is we're going to match our coins. Ready? Count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So let's count again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And what was that multiplication problem that we came up with? We had it's worth 5 cents, and we have 7 of them. So that equals 35. Very good. And then remember your touch math. If you ever have trouble with how much it's worth, how many dots will we put on each one? 5 dots. And you can count by 5s that way as well. Use as many strategies as you can. We can do our number line again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we can start with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35. Sorry, number line didn't quite line up, but we know that we can count those out, right? All right, excellent. Now we're at 80 cents. Okay, we're going to count out 80 cents. Danielle is spending the money from her paycheck. How much will it cost? Count the coins. So she's buying an app for her cell phone. Only 80 cents. That's a pretty good deal, I think. So let's begin to count it out. Now, what is the value of this coin? 10. Very good. So we know that's worth 10 cents. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Very good. And we know again that they're worth 10 cents. So we know that we can draw our number line, make it a little bit larger this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we can count by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Did we need 100? No, we only needed 80 because how many dimes do we have? One, let's turn this off. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only needed 8 dimes and not 10. So we actually counted further than we needed. So if you had 10 dimes in your pocket and you pulled all 10 dimes out, do you need all of them? No. You can put 2 of those dimes back in your pocket and save them for your next purchase because you only needed 80 cents. All right, very good. Let's go on to our next one. Now we're going to match our coins. We know that this is the dime, so let's count out how many we're going to need. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. Very good. And how many coins is it all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coins. So if you still have those extra 2, just leave them right in your pocket. All right. Now we're going to count to 75. Okay. So now as we've grown in all of what we're counting, when we come back together, we're going to start counting in dollars. So we're going to go through this lesson, and then your job is to practice counting each coins with a penny, count amounts out. I want you to count out amounts with nickels, with dimes, and then with quarters. All right, let's see what Danielle is spending her money on. All right, Danielle is spending her money from her paycheck. How much will it cost? Count the coins. She's going to buy a song download from her favorite artist. Wonder who she likes the most. How much is she going to spend?
75 cents.
75 cents. All right, are we ready? Let's see, how many coins do we need to reach 75 cents? We're going to begin with a quarter. Now we know that that quarter is worth how much money? We know it's worth 25 cents, right? But we have to get up to 75. Here we go. Now we have 2 quarters. So let's see. We have 2 quarters. Then we have 25 plus 25. Let's see if I can get my pen to come back out. Nope, I think my pen is hiding. There's my pen. It came out. So we have 25 plus 25. Now, if we write that up and down where it's easy to add together, let's see how much money we get. How much do we have all together? Now, you can be writing this out on just any piece of paper that you happen to have. We have 5. Oh, it ran away from us. That's okay. We'll rewrite it real quick. Now, in our ones column, we're going to have greater than 10. So we know we're going to have to carry. So 5 plus, all right, Mrs. Seja will move much faster this time and not chatter quite so much. So 5 plus 5 is 10. We put the 0 in the ones, carry the 110. We have 1 plus 2 and we know that that would equal 5. So we would have 50 cents for that. Now that looks like 60, but that's okay. We know it is 50 cents. All right, so we have 25 and 50. Now we need another coin, 75. So we have 25 plus 25, which we know is 50, plus 25 more, and that is going to equal our 75. So another way we could do this is 3, another way that we could do that would be 25 times 3 equals 75, right? All right, very good. Now, your assignment for when we come back together is to practice making change or buying items with pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. Okay? Thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. If you ever want to practice working with that really cool tool and making your own video, you can go to loom.com and have a whole lot of fun. Listen, it was great spending time with you. Enjoy being with your family. Stay safe and stay healthy. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.